Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another Planetarium show. My name is Jessica. I am the director of the Planetarium, and with me tonight are three of our wonderful students who I will let them all say hi and introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Brayden. I'm a vocal music ed major here at UMD.
Hi, my name is Allie, and I'm a chemistry major here at UMD.
Hi, I'm Luis. I'm a chemical engineering student.
All right, and then we also have our feline overlord. We have Nova here.
She does
She does not like
wanna
being
be.
picked up. She also is very antsy right now. I think she wants down off the desk. So that might be her only appearance tonight. But hello, everyone. Happy day after Valentine's, or as I like to call it, half off chocolate day. It's the best day of the year. We are here with our monthly installment of Ask an Astronomer, where we are going to be here for you to ask us questions. So go ahead. I know we've already got one in the chat. Thanks, Mom. Go ahead and put your questions in the chat. We also have some things that we can talk about in between. If there aren't a lot of questions today, but I figure let's just get started with my mom's question. So first, she said, happy second anniversary to Percy and Jenny. And yes, I have a little bit of an update on them a little bit later. And then, what's this I'm hearing about a new face on Mars? It's a bear. I will be honest with you, that is the first time I had heard about that. So we did a very quick search before we went live. And I'm going to turn it over to Brayden because they're the one that found it.
Yes. Let me share my screen real quick. Yeah, here we go. So it's as you can see, it's just a bunch of craters on Mars that formed essentially what looks like a bear. It's very cool. It actually brings up a really interesting psychological phenomenon known as pareidolia, which is essentially like seeing like a random assortment of like objects or like figures and assigning more like recognizable features from it. So like say like if you see like a tree and like it has like some cuts in it that make it look like a smiley face or something like that. That's exactly what this phenomenon is. And as you can see, we got a little bear for this one right here. I think it's a pretty good drawing of a bear, better than I probably could do, but it is definitely
He
a funny little thing.
he is so derpy and so cute. And I love it.
It's really
Yeah, this is not the first time that this has happened. I think that's why Mom specifically said a new face on Mars. We have found features like this that resemble faces before. They are always like a trick of the topography and shadows and stuff. But as Brandon was saying, yeah, it's our brains just like to make recognizable patterns out of randomness. I mean, it's also what led to the whole there are Martians in the before the 60s, in the early 1900s. Because people were seeing these random features and their brains were connecting them all, creating this like system of channels cutting across Mars. And who built those? There must be aliens there. There must be an intelligent race. So yeah, it's a pretty common phenomena. And isn't that also where like the uncanny valley, like things that are like close enough to resemble human features,
so.
but like
Yeah.
not quite, so like you're unsettled by it?
That would make sense. I'm pretty sure that's where the uncanny valley comes from. But yeah.
Yeah. It's yeah. There's so much we could go into. With that, I know we got a couple of other questions, but because we were just on Mars, I do want to do a quick Percy and Jenny update. So Percy and Jenny are Perseverance and Ingenuity. Perseverance is the newest addition to the rovers on Mars, landing about 2 years ago. And Ingenuity is a helicopter that arrived with Perseverance, the first ever powered flight on another planet, was accomplished by Ingenuity. And since then, it has, I believe the latest number is like 42 or 43 successful flights, which is mind-boggling to me because this thing was originally designed to do like 3, because it was a proof of concept. It was, can we make something fly on Mars? And it worked. And now Perseverance is being used, or sorry, Ingenuity is being used to like scout out places for Perseverance to go, which is really cool. But one of the things that Perseverance is doing is taking samples of lots of different rocks and soil that it encounters in its journeys, and depositing these samples on the surface of Mars for a future mission that can then come and collect those samples and take them back to us here on Earth. Because, I mean, yes, Perseverance and Curiosity, they're little mini, not really mini, they're big science laboratories on wheels, but there's only so much that you can put in that, only so much science that you can do. There's a lot more that we can do if we can get those samples back to Earth. And so all of this long rambling is to show, let me switch, there we go. This image that Perseverance has, which is showing 10 of the little samples that it has dropped across Mars's surface that are there and ready for the next stage where we'll have retrieval of these. Now, that is still in the works. I think the earliest we're expecting to have samples returned back to Earth is in like 10 years, so 2033. But it's first successful stages of this. It's got 10 of these samples out ready to go, and it's exciting. Very exciting stuff. All right. We have, yes, Mars has a smiley face and a bear. I love it. We did get another question, which is not something I think I have an answer to. It's more engineering. But the question is, why do vertical rockets always spin? And if I remember correctly, I'm pretty sure it has to do with having gyroscopic motion to stabilize the rocket. But if anyone else knows, this might be the first to really stump me. Yeah. It's also more engineering and rocket science, right? Which is very cool.
My first 5 weeks of physics could not answer this question.
So yeah, what I believe is by spinning, it creates angular momentum, which helps keep the nose of the rocket stable and pointed forward rather than wobbling around or precessing around. So by spinning this way, it keeps from having kind of this motion. Which is a very technical way of describing it, I know. But that's what I believe the reason is. And maybe as others are talking, I can do a little bit more research. All right. Why do meteorites always go to Earth every few hundred years? I'm not quite sure what you're asking. Meteorites hit Earth every day, all the time. We are constantly being hit by meteorites. It's just, 76% of the Earth's surface is water. So most of them land in the ocean. And for the land mass that we have, a good majority of the land mass is not inhabited. So anything that does hit land will likely not hit anywhere populated. So yeah, we get hit by stuff all the time. Now, most of the stuff is small. Like, we're not talking giant, like, stadium-sized asteroids hitting the Earth. They're tiny little rocks that are hitting. But yeah, we get hit all the time. There are or expeditions, that's the word, that go down to Antarctica once a year to collect new meteorite samples because it's one of the best places to look for them, because any Earth rock is going to be buried below layers and layers of snow and ice. So any rock you see on the surface came from space. And so they go down there every year for a couple weeks and just collect a whole bunch of meteorite samples, which is really cool. Yeah. All right. Who wants to go? I think I got all the questions answered so far. So while we see if we have any more questions coming in, who wants to go next?
I can talk about my little article that I found.
Yeah.
So I was here on the live stream a lot this summer, and if you remember a little bit about like things I like to talk about, I'm super into astrobiology, which is the study of like space and biology together. And one of the biggest questions in astrobiology is the origins and evolution of life. And we could think about that as trying to find life outside of Earth. So, like finding life on Mars. We're looking at Europa right now to see if there's life under the ice caps. And the Scientific American just released a super awesome article around the beginning of February that talks a little bit about where some current research in the field of astrobiology, specifically with finding alien life, is. And when you talk about finding alien life, a lot of scientists think about looking for evidence of DNA or like our genetic code that codes for things in our bodies. But our newest question or mystery or curiosity is, what if alien life doesn't follow that? What if alien life on Mars or some other planet is completely different than here on Earth? So this article talks a little bit about that. And there is actually a NASA-funded initiative right now called the Laboratory for Agnostic Biosignatures, abbreviated LAB, which is really cool. And these scientists working on this project are not even looking for DNA and other evidence of life, how life on Earth, like proteins and other biological molecules. They're just looking for complex molecules that are arranged in a type of way that we wouldn't normally see. So we have all this awesome research going on right now about actually like finding aliens and finding life outside of Earth. And this field of study is like really blossoming right now with us going to Mars in a few years and us looking at Europa for life. So I just thought this was an awesome article. It is free online. You don't need a subscription to the Scientific American. So if you're interested in learning more about astrobiology, they talk about some of the scientists that are a part of this initiative funded by NASA. And they even talk a little bit about like some of the like biology behind it, like DNA and what types of molecules they're looking for. So I would definitely give that article a little bit more of a read if you are interested in the topic. But yeah, I just thought that was so cool, and I was very excited to share that. I could probably go on and on about it.
Yeah, and I just put the link to the article in the comments so that people can go check that out. Yeah, because that's, I mean, if we're going to search for life, we have to define what we're looking for, which is difficult to do. I mean, there are arguments that can be made that even like, I have a cat hair in my mouth. I'm so sorry. That a computer virus could be classified as life. It's kind of crazy. And I always, whenever we're talking about this, if you like video games, play the game Soma. It is so good at exploring this idea of like what is life. It's so good, so good. Brayden, you've heard me do this before.
Yeah, I have. There's also another game that's like there's a game. It's called the Barrow Trauma. It's like It's like $15. It's on Steam. You can get it, and the game is the humans have populated Europa, and you just like pilot a submarine on Europa. It's really really cool, and you fight like alien fish and stuff like that. It's really fun.
No, I don't want to fight the alien fish. I want to befriend the alien fish.
Well, there are some friendly alien fish. Just most of them want to eat you. But that's not the night.
That's my
Don't worry about
problem.
it.
That's
Don't
my
worry
problem with
about it.
so many games. Like I want to befriend the dragon. I don't want to fight and kill the dragon. I want to be on its team, and games don't let me do that.
I would really like us to discover actual alien fish on Europa so we can make, you know how we say like, oh, there's water underneath like the surface of Mars. We could use that as a resource. I really want someone to say, oh, we don't have to worry about food because there's fish on Europa and we can just fish and eat the fish. That just be so, I just really want in my heart to
Oh,
know that and hear that.
I mean, it'll happen. It'll happen. As humans,
Jeez.
it'll happen.
Jeez.
Oh.
Oh, think how bad the fish would go on the way back.
I know.
That's a bit of a trip. Oh my gosh.
Okay, I just saw this article pop up, and it actually mentions Duluth, Minnesota, about how rocks in Duluth can help solve a mystery on Mars. Why have I not seen this before now? Hold on. Okay, someone else talk about something while I peruse this because I am intrigued.
I do think there's life on Europa, I gotta say. I think that it quite literally meets like all of the conditions. So why aren't there little fish just like going around,
The fish
just
that we
swimming
can
around?
eat.
Yeah, the fish that we can eat. Yeah.
Fish that we can eat.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, let's all just head up to Europa someday. Take a little trip and
Mhm.
go fishing. I don't know, have a fish fry on the
Fish fry
icy
out
on the icy
Europa.
moon.
Why
On the
not?
icy moon.
Ugh. Um, I don't
Okay,
know.
so I very quickly perused this, but apparently there are rocks here in Duluth that have similar iron-rich mineral compositions to the rocks on Mars. And how those rocks interact with water is giving insights into how Mars's atmosphere may have formed early on. Like, oh my gosh, that's really
Wow.
cool.
That is pretty cool.
I am very sad, though, that this article did not talk to anyone from Duluth.
I would love to know if there are any people in the environmental science or like geology department that is a part of research like that because that's really really cool.
Yeah, no, the only person that they're quoting in here is someone from the University of Calgary. So, like, why not talk to one of us? Come on,
Fair.
space.com.
That's
Anyway,
really cool at like that's an awesome example about how space science is like so interdisciplinary
oh
and
yes.
how studying like geological formations on Earth is like similar to like studying that on Mars.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
I mean, you can do pretty much every branch of science within astronomy. Chemistry, biology, geology, I mean, all of it can be done in some way associated with space, which is clearly makes us the best. Just saying. Oh, okay. Did we have anything else? I just got so sidetracked by just seeing Duluth, Minnesota in an article. Okay. Well, let me. I gotta like refocus back onto this. I gotta. Here, let me put that article in the chat so that people can check it out. Science being done with rocks in our backyard. Pretty cool.
It's pretty
There
cool.
we go.
Pretty
Who
cool.
published that even?
It was
Space.com.
space.com.
Space. Okay.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay. Well, I think we can start wrapping up here then. We'll do one last call for any more questions. And if you don't think of any
Some
more,
rocks.
do it. Oh,
My-
you're being requested to bring rocks home.
Yeah, I'm going back down to the cities tomorrow, so I guess I have a pretty
Bring rock.
pretty short amount of time to get these rocks and bring them home.
Yeah, I wonder where they found these rocks.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to
Yeah,
do
me
some
too.
investigating. Like, yeah. But I mean, we already use rocks here as like an analog for moon rocks because we can find anorthosite, which is the lunar highlands, and we can find basalts, which are the lunar maria, both here on the North Shore, which is pretty cool. Because, yeah. And now there are rocks similar to Mars. So if you want to experience rocks of other places, and get an awesome in-person show from us, come visit Duluth.
Highly recommend. You could probably wait a couple of months for it to warm up, though.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's not as bad as it was, but it is still pretty
It is still winter.
chilly up here. It is still winter up here. It
All
is
right.
northern
Next few
Minnesota.
months.
Yeah, come in like June, then it'll start to
Yeah.
cool down.
Oh, well, how about coming the
It's a
beginning of
safe time.
April for Astronomy Day?
Oh, that's a good idea, actually. I changed my mind.
Yeah.
There
April
will still
1st.
probably be snow though, so like.
Oh, there will.
Oh yeah, there will be.
No, there'll be snow till May.
I was about to say, yeah.
Let's be honest here.
Oh,
Let's be real honest with ourselves.
Oh, maybe we can see if we can get some of the rock samples or something for Astronomy
That'd
Day.
be cool. That'd be cool.
That would be, yeah.
Do you want? Should I go through the little? These are our top space images from. What is this website? Science News. Independent. It says independent journalism since 1921.
Let's save that one and maybe we can use it next month if we need to.
Okay. This article is really funny though because.
Well, go ahead, show it. I want to see.
Well, the funny thing about it is by who it's by in the header area, it just says by Science News staff, and then doesn't say who who wrote the article. Just people at this company, I guess.
Sure.
Which I think it's
Maybe they just
really
did a
funny.
company-wide
makes the
poll
match.
for
Yeah.
like the best pictures.
Someone used the poll, the Zoom poll to figure it out.
It's super.
Very nice. Let's see. We did get one more question. Can big rocks be planets? Well, I mean, technically Earth is a big rock.
Yeah.
And so is Mercury and Mars and Venus. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we do have a kind of definition for what makes a planet. So it has to go around a star. It has to be big enough that it's pulled itself into a spherical shape. So that's why things like asteroids typically are not considered planets because they're lumpy and irregular in shape because of how small they are. So they have to be big enough to pull themselves into a sphere. and then their orbit has to be clear of other things within it. And that's where the dwarf planets come in. They meet the first two, but they don't meet the last one. So they orbit within like a bunch of other debris, like the asteroid belt or the Kuiper belt. But yeah, technically our 4 rocky terrestrial planets, they're just big rocks. You can think of them that way. Yeah. How are asteroids formed? Ooh, okay. I love talking about this. So, asteroids are essentially chunks of rock left over from the formation of the planets. So, about 4.5 billion years ago, when our sun was forming, it was surrounded by a bunch of gas and dust. And that dust, those little tiny dust particles, would collide and sometimes they'd stick together. And then as those little dust bits stuck together, they grow bigger and bigger and bigger until you eventually get pieces the size of, say, an asteroid. And those continue to collide and merge together and get bigger and bigger and bigger. And the things that got the biggest are what we now consider the planets. A lot of the debris, a lot of the stuff that planets were made from actually got shot out of the solar system. So the asteroids are the stuff that's left behind, the stuff that didn't get into a planet, but also didn't get ejected from the solar system. So that's one of the reasons we're like really interested in studying asteroids, because they are the building blocks of planets. That's how we figured out how planets have formed, which is really cool and why I love talking about it. And also, I have a sample of one.
That's pretty cool.
This
That's pretty
is this is from the Allende meteorite. And let me take it out because I can do that because it's mine. I can touch it, which is the whole reason I own it, because I wanted to touch it.
That's such a flex.
I know, I love it. And actually, I didn't, but my husband bought it for me because he knew I wanted to touch it. So those little white specks that you're seeing right in there, those little white specks are called calcium aluminum inclusions. And they were actually some of the very, very first solid pieces to form together in our solar system. So those little bits that I'm touching right now, because I can, are about 4.5 billion years old. And this is what our planets were made out of. And it's mine. I love it.
It's pretty cool.
That is so cool.
Yeah, he did real good with that one.
I just did a bit of research and I found out that like for an average, about 1 pound of just like a standard like iron meteorite, will go for about $540. I
Yeah.
I didn't know that there was such like a going rate for meteorites. I'm now really interested in the meteorite industry.
Yeah, and I have another piece of meteorite. This one from Arizona Crater, in Arizona. But yeah, it's really cool. Something I want to collect, and also something that like I'm hoping we could get funding to have at the planetarium, to have our own like meteorite collection, so that we can do things like this, and I can let people touch 4.5 billion-year-old space rocks, because that's the coolest part of it, right? You can touch it.
Yeah, to be like, yeah, I touch space.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like my thing is like you would touch something that has been in space.
Yeah. Like so yeah, it's
like, I don't know. Who knows how like if that thing has passed through like nebulas or anything like that. Like who knows where that thing has been. Like, but you can guess.
Yeah.
And be like, yeah, I
and
did
touch
that.
it. I mean, technically, we all are space stuff.
Well, yeah, but
True.
This
But-
is different, yeah.
but-
This is
yeah,
different.
yes, yes.
This is different space stuff you're touching.
At what point does space stuff just get included into being Earth stuff? How long does it take? So
I think it has to like stay on Earth.
it just has to stay for like maybe a billion years, and then it's just Earth
Yeah,
stuff
then it's
at
Earth
that
stuff.
point.
Then it's Earth stuff. Then it's Earth stuff.
Brayden, looks like you might have a gift idea in the future.
Okay. Great. Uh-huh.
No, it's great. I will say for anyone interested in looking at purchasing your own meteorite, just do be careful and make sure you're getting from reputable sources, because there is a black market for meteorites, and a lot of fake ones are sold for a lot of money. But there are very reputable sellers, and so there's good, legit ways to get them. But yeah, just be sure to do your research, and don't just buy from the first eBay seller you. Is eBay still a
Fine.
thing? eBay's still a thing, right?
eBay's still a thing.
Yeah. I don't know that I want to tease this because I don't know for sure that we're going to have it. We might have something meteorite related on Astronomy Day.
That would be
Might.
pretty cool. Might. Please.
We'll see. I will let you know if that gets confirmed, but I'm working on it. Yeah. Okay. Those are some good questions. This was a fun way to end it, to wrap it up. All right, so real quick before we head out, here is our schedule for the week. For our in-person shows this weekend, we have Friday, Journey Through the Solar System. Saturday afternoon is our family show in my backyard, which this one in particular is great for families with younger kids. And then Saturday evening is Seeing a Photon's Journey Across Space, Time, and Mind. And then you can join us back here next Wednesday for our next live stream, where we will be doing Star Wars Fact or Fiction, led by our very own Brayden, who is taking over the Star Wars mantle from Eli.
Yes.
It'll be good.
I am very excited. It's a really, really fun show. I'm currently in the midst of trying to find a way to put my own little twist on it. To give it the, I don't know.
The Brayden touch?
I was going to say like give it the old Brayden touch, Brayden pizzazz, whatever. I'm going to stop.
And one last thing I want to promote, especially for any of our viewers who might be up further up the North Shore, more towards Grand Marais, the Gunflint Dark Sky Committee and the Chickawauk Museum and Nature Center is hosting their first Dark Sky event, which is going to be a star party and a night sky photography workshop. It's called Exploring the Night Skies of the Gunflint Trail. It's going to be happening Saturday at 7 p.m. About mid-trail at the community center there. And I will put this link in the comments so that you can go check it out if you're interested. We will not be up there this time, but I work closely with all of these people, and I'm on the Dark Sky Committee. It's going to be a fantastic event. There are local astrophotographers and night sky photographers that are going to be there giving you all of their tips and tricks, and it's going to be a great night. So if you're in the area and want to check it out. And if you're not right away, we are hoping to do lots more of these. So I will let you know when the next ones are as well. All right. Well, I think we will, just double checking comments and questions and stuff. I think we will wrap it up there. So thank you everyone so much for joining us. We hope you had fun listening to us ramble on all sorts of different topics, but also answer some really great questions from you guys. If you end up thinking of more questions later, we do this show monthly, so you can always come back in, what is next month? Next month is March. Come back in March.
Oh my gosh. Where are you? What?
Yeah, we're halfway through February somehow.
Wow. Jeez, 2023. Where are you going?
It's crazy. It's crazy. All right, everyone have a wonderful week, and we will hopefully see you again in the future. Bye, everyone.